You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. Okay, so I said I was gonna do a recap of Temptation Island. I said I was gonna do Love is Blind too, but I changed my mind. I'm not doing that because I'm not about to go through the boredom. I see they got Love is Blind Germany, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I'm probably not doing that one. Like, I don't like when they do like voiceovers for those languages. I would much rather just read subtitles. I would rather just read subtitles than to hear the voiceovers. Like it be getting under my nerve. I can't watch it. But so I see a new season of Temptation Island is coming soon. So I was like, let me go ahead and do my video or whatever. I finally finished it. Um and I want to talk about a couple of things, mostly about Brion and his mentality. But so he has a threesome with Alex and what's the other girl? Hold up. Did I write it down? And Courtney. He had a threesome with Alex and Courtney. And he basically rationalizes this threesome is as not being that serious because it wasn't one-on-one sex. He's basically saying, so since this was like a group sex, a group project of sex, it really don't count because I wasn't connecting with them emotionally because it was just the three of us and it was just sex. If it was one-on-one sex, then it would be worse or whatever that he said. He rationalizes it as not being a bad thing because he didn't have any emotions about it, and also because it wasn't one-on-one. He said he felt like having one-on-one sex with them would have been more disrespectful to Shantae, but since it was a threesome, it wasn't disrespectful. And I'm like, what? And he's basically like the one-on-one time. He basically was saying that the one-on-one time was reserved for Shantae, trying to make her seem special because, well, I only had one-on-one sex with you, but with these girls, it was a threesome, so it wasn't a bad thing. And also, they're not special. They were just something for me to experience so I could get this out of my system. He was treating it like, you know how a lot of guys when they're about to get married, they'll like have sex. I have literally been, I ain't gonna say proposition for sex, but I have literally talked to some guys that I was in high school. Like they would reach out to me and try to like come see me and stuff like that, but I'm not the let's chill, can I come see you type of girl. If you're not taking me on a date, absolutely not. And you also have to get tested before you come see me, so no. You know, you want to keep them boundaries, you want to see if a guy really likes you, make him get tested before he even dates you. They won't do it. A lot of them won't do it, and it's fine. You don't want to be with somebody who would not do something that's important to you. But back to the topic at hand. So he's basically saying like, he's basically rationalizing it as not being serious because it was a threesome and it was like it was just something to get out of my system. Yeah, but like I was saying, you know how guys sometimes when they're about to get married, I think women do the same thing too, but I don't think it's as, I ain't gonna say I don't think it's as many because y'all be wilding at them bachelorette parties. Y'all be Y'all be wilding at them bachelorette parties. I could never. Like, y'all be wilding. But basically, like, I'm gonna get this out of my system so when I go back to my person, I don't have to worry about that no more. It's out of my system now. So I'm not gonna want it no more. So this is how he's rationalizing it. This is such a narcissistic, even though I do not want to use that word, it fits. This is such a narcissistic mentality. The fact that he creates his own narratives and he tries to force Shantae to live by the narratives that he creates, and she does live by them. This whole time, Shantae was basing her emotions off of how Brion set things up. She wouldn't feel no type of way until he told her how she should feel about situations, if that makes sense. Cause it just seemed like the stuff that they would show her at the bonfires didn't just include him doing stuff that he said he wouldn't do, but it would be him doing stuff he said he wouldn't do and then rationalizing it. Or he would do something wrong and then come back behind it and talk about her like, oh, I got the best girl in the world, nobody is Shantae. He would like compliment her, flatter her, or whatever, and she would hear it, and in her mind, she's justifying the bad stuff that he's doing by owning the special. Like, guys will try to make you feel special so you won't worry about the other girls that they're dealing with. And I'm just gonna tell you this, you ain't special. You actually, if you in a serious relationship with a guy and he is always, you're better than these other girls, and every time you catch him cheating, he always tries to pit you against the women rather than taking accountability, they'll try to throw you off by making you feel like you're special. And it would be like, oh, she a hoe, why you believe in that hoe, whatever, whatever. And you're different from these girls and they're hoes, and to make you feel like what they're doing with them doesn't have value, because he don't see her as a valuable person, but he sees you as valuable. And I want to tell you, a person that actually values you will never cheat on you. They would never try to manipulate you into believing that you're better than other women. You're better than the women that they cheat on you with. That is manipulation. And I just never fell for it. Like, whenever I was dating my ex, that was something I never, he was never able to manipulate me into thinking nothing, because I know what I know, and you ain't gonna tell me no different. You ain't pulling me into your world. You not pulling me into your mindset, what you create, so you can escape accountability. Absolutely not. The only world I live in is mine. The only mentality that I'm living in is mine. You ain't giving me that. I was born rejecting everybody's mentality. And if I end up coming to the point where I agree with you, maybe we have similar perspectives, I can admit that. But I'm never agreeing with nobody to the extent that I am justifying some bad stuff that they did to me, or I'm never agreeing with nobody to the extent that I'm not myself. Because I feel like when you do that, all you doing is taking the form of what they want you to be. You ain't even you no more, because they've pulled you into their world so much, they've pulled you into their reality so much that you don't even have one. And this is Shantae. Shantae does not live in reality. Shantae lives in Brion's reality. And that is probably the most dangerous thing you can do in a relationship with a person, for men and women, because women do the same thing. But he just was so confident. Every time he went to a bonfire, he just knew Shantae she wasn't doing nothing. She wasn't going to cheat. She wasn't even really going to like talk bad about him to a lot of the guys. The only thing she kept saying was basically like she was hurt because of some of the stuff that he was doing. And he was always like, I hate hearing her say that about me, and second guessing me and not trusting me, and I hate that I'm hurting her. No, you don't. You don't hate that you're hurting her, and you're going to continue to hurt her because it's easy. You've literally programmed this girl's mind. You've brainwashed her to justify your shortcomings. She do it before you even get to say anything. And it's crazy because Shantae and Brion has only been together for a year when they came on the show. I don't know about how long they was together now or if they're still together. Last I heard, they were still together, but they had only been together for a year since they came on the show. You can only imagine what that girl has been through with him. It only took a year for him to program her mind the way that he had. And that is scary. That is the type of stuff that make me, when it comes to relationships, like, I'm good. Even though I'm not somebody that you finna manipulate, you ain't pulling me into no reality but mine. I'm sorry. It just never happens. I don't care who you are. My mama, my daddy, my brothers. I don't care. I live in my reality. I live in reality, period. Because I don't get stuck in my head like how some people do. And I don't try to pull people into my mind so they can understand my perspective. It's fine if you don't understand. We ain't always gonna understand each other. We ain't always going to agree. But one thing you not finna do is manipulate me into being your doormat. Cause that's what she is. I'm not gonna lie. The whole, but I love her. You don't love that lady. The only reason why Brion stays with Shantae is because he can get away with these things with her. Because he has already programmed her. He manipulated her so much. Like I said, he literally always set the tone for how Shantae felt. She never was speaking off of how she genuinely felt about something he was doing. It was always him setting the tone. Whatever tone he set, that's what Shantae believed. That's how Shantae felt. And she kept, if he did this, if he did that, I cannot I can't be with him or whatever. And baby, didn't stick to it. It was so crazy. Like, he was very contradicting. When he keeps saying that he wants him a good Christian woman, and this is a good Christian woman, and Christian woman this and Christian woman that. And when it comes to you being a good Christian man, all of a sudden you not perfect. If that's not a nigga for you, that's a nigga for you. They will use the Bible against you. But when it comes to them and their actions, I ain't perfect. So I gotta be perfect. I gotta follow this word perfectly, but you don't. You don't get to. This is why I don't believe that men actually believe in God, and I don't believe that men actually believe in the Bible. I think that they use it, they weaponize it to uphold the patriarch because it justifies everything that they do. It justifies how they think, it justifies how they move. I just don't believe that they really believe in God. I feel like they feel like they are that power. And they use religion to manipulate women and manipulate people, period, to do whatever it is that they want them to do. And I learned that being in a relationship with a narcissist, because I was the person that literally followed every single thing that Bible said, but that junk drove me crazy. I had to break away from it. It isn't realistic. And then when you start dating people who claim to be Christian and who claim to be holy, and you see how they use the Bible, it's very dangerous. And that's why I don't I don't I don't resonate with religions where men are in power, because I don't believe that men really believe in God. But that's another topic for another day. So whenever Brion would do his confessionals, like I said, he would literally set the tone. It's like this nigga had it down to a science. Like, I have seen narcissism, but I have never seen perfect. This nigga is the perfect narcissist. I've never seen it to that perfection. Like he literally had it down to a science. He knew exactly what he was doing. He, like I said, he would do something bad, but then when you saw his confessionals and when you would see him talking to the girls, he would talk highly of Shantae and he would put himself down. I don't deserve her. She's too good for me, but she is willing to love me and all of this stuff. Like, I got the best girl in the world. I'll never find nobody else like her. But then in the same breath, you having sex with people. What are you talking about? You don't deserve her, but you don't believe that. Really, Brion believed that Shantae is beneath him. Shantae really isn't the girl that Brion wants, but she's the girl that he feels like he needs because he's in this space where, like I said, he create his own reality. So I have to have someone who can believe that, because a lot of the time people who think like him, they don't they don't they are not self-aware to the extent that would make them care about how they are making somebody else feel by their actions. He isn't self-aware at all. Sometimes he'll come across like he is and like he's learning something, but he does nothing. But he always is talking a good game. When he's at the bonfires, he's talking about the things that he needs to do and how he feels like he can change for her and all of this stuff, but he actually never applies any of these things, which makes him contradicting and hypocritical. You're holding her to this standard, but you're not holding yourself to that standard. You make excuses for yourself, but oh, she gonna be perfect. Oh, and he literally never. There was never a moment where he felt like, anytime those other guys were crashing out and when they saw their girls talking to these dudes about them, or crashing out because they saw them moving on the way they were moving on, he had no worries and he felt like, I got the best girl here. Like, y'all girls trash, I got the best girl here. And not necessarily because he think that Shantae is this amazing person, but because he has mind control over her. He has brainwashed her to the extent that she would never dare to do anything to him. She would never go tit for tat like how Ashley was doing to Grant. She would never choose herself, like how what's her name? What's the girl name that dates Lino? She didn't never chose herself like her. She never stood up for herself like Taylor. Taylor still had a little bit of hope that this experience was going to help her and Tyler, but she also was doing the work in herself. Shantae never did the work. Brion has made Shantae feel like she's perfect the way that she is. She never did the work. The only thing she did was come from the bonfires and give the guys a play-by-play of what Brion was doing and saying that, oh, I don't know, he must be he must be think I'm stupid, or like he doing stuff that I said I didn't want him to do, stuff like that. And it would seem that she was angry, but she wasn't. She wasn't mad at anything he was doing. She would just be venting about what she saw, giving them a play-by-play, but it was never no inner work. She never did no work within herself. Everybody else was doing the inner work, and that's one of the reasons why she is going to have such a hard time coming out of that relationship, because she focuses so much on what Brion is doing and she doesn't focus on what she needs to work on. The only way to break out of a relationship with somebody like that, you gotta go within. You ain't gonna find no answers with them. You're not gonna understand them. You're not gonna be able to save them. You're not gonna be able to love them to make them a better person. The only way to get out of a relationship like that is to go within yourself. And she never did that. This whole time, she was the only person, even out of the guys. And I would even say that Brion did a little bit of self work, even though it didn't stick. She did none at all. because every time she went to a bonfire, he's talking highly of her. So she didn't feel like she needed to do anything. Her whole purpose of coming there was to fix him, to see if this situation was going to fix him. He literally brought that girl on that show so he could have girls at his fingertips, however many he wanted at his fingertips, and he wouldn't have to go out and found them. He used this experience to satisfy his sexual desires. He had no intention on changing. None. No intention on making his relationship better. He just wanted to be with a bunch of girls that he could have a threesome with. When I tell you, I was like, poor thing, but at the same time, and religion is the reason why Shantae is so stuck in that situation. Every time you saw her, like whenever they would be going to bed, she would be reading that Bible. And I just wanted to scream at the freaking TV and say, put that Bible down. That Bible got you messed up in your head. Put it down. You looking in the wrong place for answers. Because whoever that pastor was that introduced the two of them, he should be ashamed of himself. But men bond over mistreating women all the time. They bond over being sexist, misogynistic. They bond over hating women. They bond over mistreating and abusing women all the time. So I am not shocked that a preacher hooked them up, knowing that that boy was not ready to settle down and he was not ready to change his ways to be with a girl like Shantae. Putting that girl in danger, because she is in a dangerous situation. And I know people was like, you know, she was dumb and they gave up on her. They didn't feel bad for her and stuff like that. But I just want to say, the type of person that you have to be to reprogram somebody's mind in a year, I can only imagine what that girl has been through with Brion. I can only imagine it. Another thing that I want to talk about is Amaya. Amaya was one of the only girls in that house that had her head on right. The only girl in that house that was actually thinking about the other girls. Those other women in the house never thought about the girls on the village. They literally used this opportunity to try to take these girls' men. That's what a lot of these women use this opportunity to do. I will say the guys, usually they are coming there for their chance at you, but they're not coming that hard like how the women be doing in on Temptation Island. It's so weird. I don't get it. Like, you're going on a show to take somebody's man and lose him just like she lost him. Because we all know that's how the story go. You ain't no different. You ain't special. Like, and also taking these men that were on the show, taking them is not a brag. You can have them. Because if it was me, you can have them. It's not a brag. But I was really proud of Amaya for standing up to Brion and calling him out and telling him that he was contradicting. The way that he got mad at her because she wouldn't sit and listen to his BS. Like, I was so proud of her for protecting her peace and getting herself out of that situation, because she knew that he was about to do something disrespectful to his girlfriend. And she took herself out of the situation because she didn't want to be a part of it. And I don't blame her. And the fact that he got mad at her was crazy to me. And then she went on a date with him. But I love that she was always calling him out. And I want to say too, Brion used that girl so he could get Shantae back. He used Amaya so he could get Shantae back. And he used Angel. That's why he ended up with those two at the end. Because he wanted Shantae to feel like, I got the threesome out my system. Now I'm surrounding myself with black women who are holding me accountable, who are speaking their mind to me. He wasn't taking not one thing in that girl said. He did not care. He was not taking it in, but he used it. He used those opportunities to make it seem like he learned his lesson. And that was also messed up, using them girls as a tool. Girls that you know wasn't going to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. But I was really disappointed in Courtney because of how she was acting, because of how she just allowed him to use her, and the fact that she just was so willing to do whatever it is that he wanted her to do to get close to him. Like, and she seemed like kind of like a follower, because when Alex was telling her like we need to get him to fold, and it's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why would you want to do that? And then y'all wonder why y'all be having bad luck in relationships, because you're I ain't gonna say trash, okay? Because you're a terrible person and you've done terrible things. Like, why would you do that? He eliminated Courtney to ensure that Shantae would take him back. That was the chess move that he used. Amaya and Courtney, getting rid of Courtney, were the his last few moves that he used to ensure that he would get Shantae back. Cause Shantae at the bonfire, and I don't know if Brion was in cahoots with the producers. I don't know. Every single time they showed that nigga at the bonfire, they never left nothing to the imagination. They show everything. They would show everything that he did, and then they would show the confessional. And I was like, why are they giving him so much time to manipulate her? Why are they doing that? Just show her the things that he's doing, and let's see if Shantae got her own mind, and let's see if she's going to try to figure out what she needs to do and how she needs to move. But no, she saw what he did, and then he would have a confessional of him saying something else. So basically, it's like, dang, are y'all helping him manipulate her? Because why are y'all showing this? Whenever they show the other guys, they don't do all that. But they always show Brion cleaning up his mess whenever he would make it. And it was pissing me off. But, Shantae saw the video at the bonfire of Amaya going off on Brion and telling him about himself, and she like, I'm proud of her, but are you proud of you? How you let another girl tell your man off and you stay with her? I'm sorry. No way I'm about to watch another girl call my man a hypocrite and say that he was contradicting himself by some of the stuff that he was saying, calling him out, and then I'm going to stay with him. Absolutely not. Because if this girl felt that she needed to do that, that meant that he was doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. If she felt the need to, because Amaya comes across as a, calm, soft-spoken person. The fact that she went off on him like that meant that he did something disrespectful. So you were, oh, I'm proud of her for saying that he needed somebody to say that to him. But are you going to say that to him? Are you going to stand up for yourself? Are you going to tell him about yourself? About himself? Because it's pointless if you're not. Seeing another woman doing that should have made you feel some type of way. Because it would have made me feel some type of way. And obviously, you thought that that was cool. But if I saw another woman going at my dude like that for doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, and I know, I see with my eyes that he's doing some stuff that he shouldn't be doing, oh, okay, I feel the same way. we are united in how we feel, and I'm ditching him. Because what are you talking about? Nobody should ever have to check your man. Nobody. And you sit there and not do the same thing. There's a difference if somebody is doing it wrongfully, but you saw everything you needed to see to justify why that girl was coming at him like that, and it made you feel nothing except saying you're proud of her. What about you? What about you? And before I move on to everybody else, I want to say Shantae is one of those girls that do think there's a hierarchy. Y'all know those women, they feel like they're one of them girls that say, well, at least he's still coming home to me. Like, he's still coming. He might be with you, but he's still coming home to me. One of those. One of those that loves the idea of being different and special and put on a pedestal. And she sat there comfortably, never working on herself, never turning inside herself to see what she needed to work on. The only thing she cared about was Brion, and that was your biggest mistake. Anytime you go into a relationship with a man and the only thing you do is focus on his wrongdoings, you setting yourself up to settle. You setting yourself up to stay in that situation longer than you need to, because all you doing is focusing on him, and oh, he's the bad person, he needs the work. But why are you with him? Something is wrong with you for being with him. Somebody that you think is bad and they don't deserve you, and they need to change their ways, and I don't trust him around women and stuff like that. But you're with him. A lot of time these men be using y'all egos against y'all. Y'all think y'all smarter than them, and y'all think that being the trophy, the prize, justifies everything that you go through in a relationship with these men. And that is why they always keep y'all where they want y'all, because you have this mindset that it don't matter what he do, he's still gonna come home to me. I'm the special one, I'm the one he wants, I'm the one he's with. That means nothing. It means nothing. You're still in the same category as other women. You're not special. You can be special to yourself, but you ain't special to these niggas. You ain't never special to these niggas. You see the type of women who get cheated on? We ain't exempt. None of us are exempt from that. And a lot of times y'all be keeping yourselves in these messed up situations because of your ego, your pride, and you think that you're better than everybody else. And that's why it's easy for them to manipulate you, because all I gotta do is stroke your little ego a little bit. All I gotta do is make you feel like you're the one that I want. You're the special one. Like, yeah, I went out and had sex with them, but you the one I want. And you eat that up. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. The ego is always going to be a sickness. It's a sickness. And a lot of y'all be needing help, but you can't get help because you always focusing on them. You focusing on these men, and oh, they need to change this, or they need to change that, and oh, he need to do this. What do you need to do? What do you need? What's wrong with you? If you can find all of these things wrong with a man, but you can stay with him, something is wrong with you. You're not exempt from having issues. He's not the only one that got issues. You got issues too. But you would much rather badger him, put him down, rather than focus on working on your issues. And that is why y'all be staying in these relationships and getting treated the way that y'all get treated. Because y'all don't think nothing wrong with y'all. And oh, it's him. And yeah, it be them, but it also be you. It takes two to have a toxic relationship. The person that is creating the chaos and the one that's accepting it. And the one that's accepting it is just as bad as the one creating it. Sorry to tell you that. But y'all need to stop being delusional and lying to yourselves. That's why women like Shantae exist. Because y'all are delusional. You create whatever it is that you want this man to be in your mind, yet you complain about every little thing that they do. It's either do you accept him as he is, or are you gonna walk away? Because if you gonna stay with him, shut up, because you sound stupid. Every time you come talking to me, I'm one of them friends, you sound stupid. I don't lie to myself. When I do something stupid, I tell myself I'm doing something stupid. Like, you being stupid. Like, what's wrong with you? Y'all be lying to yourselves because y'all like to feel like y'all are above these niggas, and you not. You not smarter than them. And that's another video that I want to make too. You not smarter than them, but because you think so, they are always going to use your ego against you, and it be working. But back to the show. Now that I've talked about like his mentality, I want to talk about where his mentality comes from. Also Amaya telling him that, well, when Amaya checks him, he says that he separates what's going on there from the real world. So he doesn't see this as the real world. So anything that he does in this experiment isn't real, because he's told himself, oh, this is TV. This is not the real world. You know, this is just a little experiment or whatever that I'm doing. So anything that I do within the confinements of these walls, it don't exist outside of these walls. So when I leave these walls, my girl coming home with me. And he was right. He told Shantae that. She saw him say that, and she decided how she felt. Every time Brion say something, Shantae does not feel anything until Brion tells her how to feel. This girl is literally numb. You can see it. She is always disassociating. She's never there. She's not mentally present. She believes what he tells her to believe. However he set the tone, that's what it is. And him saying that because this is an experiment, what happens there isn't the real world, as if it be like some of y'all on social media be thinking that social media is an imaginary world and it's different from the real world. The things that you do on social media is going to follow you in the real world. Like, what are you talking about? And how do y'all get that mindset? Because it's a computer. You know that, like, the computer exists in the real world, right? You know that your phone exists in the real world. So what are you talking about? How is it not the real world? He was just saying, this man was jumping through leaps and bounds to not take accountability. Never took accountability. But after that, so we get to why Brion is the way that he is. At a bonfire, he starts talking about his upbringing. He admits that he hates being alone. He admits that he was in the foster care system and he was adopted by white people. And he was abused and stuff like that. So he left home and lived on his own early on. What else? And because of this, he doesn't give Shantae a safe space to show emotions. And that was my whole point. She don't feel nothing until he tell her what to feel. He controls how she feels. And even though he gives that little background for why he does it, and he self-awareness at this, was that not the last bonfire, but the one before that, all of a sudden kicks in. And I don't necessarily feel like it kicked in, but what happens is Mark is asking them questions about, like, why are you doing this? Like, he wants to know the why. So Brion starts talking about his upbringing and how his life was hard and he was put into the system and he was raised by white people and he was abused and stuff like that. Left home, went to college. I don't know if he got a relationship with his family or not, but this is his excuse, not necessarily an excuse for why he's the way that he is. So he admits that he doesn't give her a space to feel emotions. So when Mark is trying to get emotions out of Shantae, he's never able to get any. She just is always she intellectualizes her emotions. And as somebody who intellectualizes my emotions too, when I'm in a situation where I'm getting hurt, I'm gonna cry. Like, most of the time I feel like people feel like, oh, you never show your emotions and stuff like that. But it's not that I don't show my emotions or I don't know how to show my emotions. I do. It's just I'm not having experiences where I'm doing that. I also want to note that people considers crying the only emotion that, like, for instance, when people tell me that they've never seen me cry, that's the emotion that they always choose to focus on. And I show emotions all the time. I show love, I show empathy, I show support, I show happiness, all of the emotions. And the thing that they want to see is sadness. But if I'm not in a state of sadness, I'm not going to make myself cry just so you can feel comfortable seeing me do it or whatever. But that makes me realize how toxic society is and how we're addicted to trauma and sadness and like the negative emotions. But it doesn't count that I'm loving you. It doesn't count that I'm happy. It doesn't count that, I'm at peace, that I can empathize with you. You've never seen me fall down crying because my life is a mess. So in your mind, I don't show emotions. That never made sense to me. Like, I haven't dated somebody in so long. So you ain't gonna see me crying over no nigga because I don't got none. So what emotions you want to see? Like, I definitely know how to express my emotions or whatever, but when it comes to my friends, because of the way that I communicate with them, they don't see them because it's through a phone. I'm not the person that's finna hold my phone up and talk about whatever I'm going through and then cry on the phone. That's just not me. That's not me. I'm a have emotions, but I'm not picking up my phone. Like, my first thought is not, let me get on here and talk to my friends about what I'm going through, whatever. I've always dealt with my own feelings, and some people may think that something is wrong with that, but I don't necessarily think something is wrong with that. I think something is wrong with y'all. So hey, if you think something wrong with me, I think something wrong with you too. So I guess we twins. Anyways, cause y'all be pushing y'all emotions on people and expecting them to soothe them. Oh, I feel this way, and making everything about how you feel and your emotions, and now everybody got to walk on eggshells around you because of you feel. And I just don't think that it's normal because cause society says this is what we do, and a lot of people agree that this is what we do. But just because something is normal don't mean that it's right. And just because something isn't normal doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just we're so used to doing certain things in a society that y'all like to put those labels on things. So if you don't see somebody behaving the way that you do when it comes to certain things, something wrong with them. Cause a lot of times people not gonna take accountability. You're not gonna take accountability, so you're gonna try to make it seem like this person has a problem. Cause you can't have a problem, right? But I digress. Like I said, definitely not numb like her. If I'm hurt, I'm gonna cry, but it's probably just gonna be a couple of tears, and then I'm gonna be like, "But this is what I'm finna do to get over that." Like, I'm not one of them people that's gonna sit in my feelings. I feel them. I give myself time to feel them, and then after that, okay, we need a solution. Let's move forward. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to make myself depressed over things that I can't change. I'm just gonna move, and if I can fix it, I'm gonna fix it and keep it moving. But so after this, after he talks about like his upbringing and all of these things, let's talk about the last bonfire. Okay, first let's talk about the videos. So everybody gets to send these videos to their significant other if they wants to. I think Taylor and Ashley were the only two that didn't send a video. Um the video that Grant made, he took no accountability. He blamed Ashley for everything. He blamed her for how he's feeling. He tries to make it seem like, oh, you try to make me out to be a bad person, but I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. You just don't see that in me, or you don't want to see that in me. You're not a good person, Grant. And it's okay. You a human being. You're not a good person though. Stop trying to justify the way from the very first moment that Grant and Tyler came into that house, they put the girls that they came with out of their minds, and they found somebody else to be their girlfriends. And I want to say this, how men just be moving on so quick. Y'all were still technically in relationships, but y'all were immediately treating these girls like they were your girlfriends. You would have thought that Tay was somebody that Tyler knew his whole life. Like, he spent years with her. He started treating her like they was in a committed relationship as soon as he got in the house. Same thing with Grant and Natalie. Like, y'all have an issue being by yourselves. Y'all always need a woman or somebody around to stroke y'all ego and make y'all feel good about who y'all are when y'all are bad people. Y'all do terrible things. Y'all do bad things. Y'all are bad people. And like I said, it's okay because you're human, but you don't stay like that because you find people around you to stroke your ego and make you feel like what you're doing is okay. It's not okay, bro. You literally created a relationship with a girl you just met, doing all the things with her that this other girl is complaining that you don't do. Y'all do that too. What was the point of that? Like, really, these men wasted no time moving on. Like, the only person who didn't move on was Lino, but didn't nobody like him because all he did was cry and complain about everything. And don't nobody want to hear that. Shut up. Just shut up. Don't nobody want to hear that. So it wasn't that he was focused on changing himself. Nobody wanted him. And that just is what it is. But he's sitting there worrying about the fact that this girl was with somebody before him, and then she chooses him, and he feel like he the second option, and his feelings is hurt. Like, nigga, grow up. You really in here complaining about that? That's all he was focused on. Oh, when we first got together, she was dating somebody else and she didn't tell me, and things didn't work out with him, so I feel like I'm the second option. So why you with her? Why you with her? This was his only issue, bro. His only issue with her. And the fact that he claimed, oh, I made her better. I made sacrifices for her. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't be able to do this and do that. If I was his girl, I would not get back with him. You're not finna talk about you made me who I am, and if it wasn't for you, bye. No. I wouldn't get back with him. I want to talk about Tyler's video. He literally, as soon as he got in the house, forgot about Taylor and started dating that girl Kay, and gonna expect Taylor to be with him at the end. You literally was in a whole relationship this whole time. I have to watch you on my screen at the bonfires in a whole relationship, and you think I'm gonna get back with you? What? Tyler really has issues not being alone. He jumps from relationship to relationship, and then he takes these issues that he have into each of those relationships instead of spending time by himself and figuring out what's going on with him and what he needs to change about himself. But I feel like a lot of times when people do that, they're running from themselves for some reason. When you can't be by yourself and you're jumping from person to person, you're running from you. You're running from yourself. You don't want to be self-aware. You don't want to change. You don't want to do the work, and you don't want to heal. You're running from it for some reason. Like you're scared to be better. That's the vibe that I got from him. Grant took no accountability in his video. He blamed Ashley for everything that he did in that house, and she had nothing to do with that. He done told them girls that she wasn't maternal and she wasn't a mother and all of this stuff. He done made this girl feel like make it seem like she treat him like crap, and then get mad because she didn't want to be with him. And you know what? Okay, I said we talked about the videos. Okay, so after the whole video thing, then And also in Brion's video, I'm not even gonna talk about Brion's video because he did exactly what I said he was doing the whole time. He used that opportunity to make Shantae feel like, hey, I got this out of my system. Now I want to move forward with our relationship. That basically what his video was about. Tyler tried to disregard this whole relationship that he started with this girl and then expresses that he wanted to be with Taylor outside of the house. Then he gets mad because she doesn't make him a video. Grant gets mad because Ashley doesn't make him a video. You are in a relationship. Why are you even talking to me? Move on with your new girl. Another thing I want to talk about is, so at one of the bonfires, Taylor was talking about the fact that she feels like people leave her, and she was saying that she wouldn't be with her either. She acknowledges that in her relationship with Tyler, she became basically bossy because he cheated on her. Like a lot of women do, instead of leaving, y'all will stay in relationships and abuse these men for cheating on you. Just get out of the situation because y'all aren't able to let it go. You bring it up every time. Everything is about what he did, but you said that you were going to forgive him, so shut up. Once you forgive somebody, you should not be bringing up what they did. I'm sorry, you shouldn't. And the whole, I forgive, but I'll never forget. You didn't forgive. You didn't forgive. Y'all don't know what it is to forgive somebody. That whenever I forgive somebody for something they did, whatever they did to me didn't happen. It literally cancels out what they did. That's what forgiveness is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like you telling somebody, okay, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to give you another chance. But I'm always going to throw what you did to me down your throat. All you're doing is making them want to go do it again. Because even if there was a chance that they were not going to do it again, you're making them want to do it again. So what even is the point of staying with them? Y'all literally be staying in situations to make them worse. Like, what's the point? If you know you're never going to be able to let go of something somebody did to you, you should not be staying in a situation with them. You should not be sitting in this situation making somebody feel bad every day for doing something to you. Yeah, they betrayed you, but you, when you decide to forgive, you do not get to hang it over somebody's head. That's not how forgiveness works. But at least she acknowledges that that's what she did. She made the relationship toxic by, and the fact that this man, you met him when he was married, what you thought was going to happen? He was still married when you met him. What you thought was going to happen, girl? And Tyler expresses the fact that, oh, I didn't really get the period to be by myself outside of my marriage. So he basically is behaving the way that he was behaving because, and I don't really understand y'all who try to make it seem like y'all need this period of just, whenever you get your heart broken, you need this period of just messing around with people and dating and doing all this stuff to get the heartbreak out of your system. Why can't you just sit on your behind and heal? Why y'all so allergic to healing? It's weird to me. But you okay with getting in situations and taking your problems in these new situations and making them toxic, and y'all don't see nothing wrong with that. But God forbid if you sit down and deal with your own issues and be and have the self-awareness to work on yourself. Y'all are allergic to working on yourself. Y'all are allergic to shadow work, and that's why y'all stay in bad situations. Because you want to focus on, oh, he did this to me, you 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 did this. Why you with them? Why you with them? What is wrong with you that you're with somebody that you don't like? Because you don't like him no more. You don't like this person no more, yet you're still with them. What is wrong with you? But like I said, at least she did take accountability for what she did to him or whatever. Because women, I hate to admit it, but I like taking accountability. Because you're never wrong, and that is exactly why you are always in the wrong situation. Because you ain't never wrong. Because you can never admit when you're wrong about something. You can never admit that you got issues. You can never admit that you really don't like other women. So you sometimes stay with men to spite these women because you think that you're winning an award for being with him last or whatever. You're not. And it's actually really weird. And I don't feel sorry for y'all. I don't. Those of y'all who do stuff like that, I don't feel sorry for y'all. Um, okay, what else? So her expressing that she feels like nobody stays with her and she wouldn't stay with her either because of how she was behaving in a relationship with Tyler. And Mark telling her that she shouldn't feel like that and that's not true and to not believe that about herself. And when Case ended up leaving the house, and I feel like he left because he didn't feel like she had a connection with him. But then when he came back, I was confused. Taylor had already chose Yaman. She had already been making a connection with Yaman. Case coming back didn't do nothing but stroke her ego. It was not like, I know that Mark was trying to teach her a lesson, but it was pointless to teach her that lesson when him coming back didn't make an impact on her. All she saw was that he came back. That didn't impact her. She had already started having a stronger connection with Yaman. So like, what was the point? To me it was pointless, but I understood why they did it because he didn't want her to feel like she deserved to get left or that everybody left her and stuff like that. So I get why he did, but to me it was pointless. So last, we're going to talk about the final bonfire. So I think the Brion and Shantae are the first ones, and like, they're talking and Brion fake cries and tries to make it seem like he's remorseful for what he did, and he gives this empty speech to her about, him wanting to work on himself and him wanting to be with her, and she's the one he loved and all this stuff. And Shantae asked for a minute, and then they really put her on the spot. And I really hate on this show that they put them on the spot to make a decision like that, because Shantae should have never made a decision about whether she was staying with Brion on this show. She should have. She should have said, I need to think about this. At at the very least, she should have said, I need time to think about this more. I'm not going to make a decision right now. At the very least. But no. They asked her if she wanted to stay with him or if she wanted to leave alone or with somebody else. She asked for a minute to think about it. Brion did not respect her space. He went over there and buttered her up and talked her into giving him another chance, and she gave him another chance. Mentally checked out. Emotionally checked out. Checked out. Disassociating. She was not there. This girl disassociates so bad that it's so dangerous. And as a person who also disassociate because I grew up around violence and stuff like that, I know that is dangerous. Like, she just was not there. Mentally, emotionally not there. He took that opportunity to blame his behavior on his upbringing. And, oh, I was bounced around in the system and I was adopted by people that abused me and all of these things. So that's why I am the way that I am. But you made no changes. This situation, this experiment that you went to never changed you. She should have never taken him back. But I digress. So then we goes on to Taylor and Tyler. Tyler tries to make it seem like he did nothing wrong. The ability to not take accountability should be studied. Should be studied. You was in a relationship, bro. From the very moment that you went into the house, you was in a relationship. But Taylor calls him out on his BS and how he immediately got with Kay, and he literally attached himself to her and was with this girl the whole time. And I'm glad she called him out and she didn't let him get away with it. And she decided to leave with by herself. She decided to leave there by herself, I think. And then we get to Ashley and Grant. And before I get to Ashley and Grant, I want to say this. When Ashley was going tit for tat with Grant at the end of the show, it was getting on my nerve because it's like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you doing things to piss him off because he's doing things? She was like, I just went, her going into the little tent thing just to make the lights flicker in the boy's house. It was stupid to me because he already was in a relationship with a girl. You done seen him have sex with this girl twice at the bonfires. He ain't care, but he also did care. I do not understand why these men thought that they were going to go in this house, do what they wanted to do, and still leave the island with their girls. What are you like? She dug into him and he deserved it. He really was acting like he did nothing wrong and she went off on him and he deserved it. And when they asked Grant who he wanted to leave with, he said he wanted to leave by himself because he wanted Ashley to follow suit. And even though I did not agree with the tit for tat, I was so happy she said she was leaving with somebody else. Because the only reason why he didn't choose to leave with that girl, Natalie, is because he wanted to see if Ashley was going to leave with that guy, that's Danny, that she was with. He wanted to see. He was testing her. And she called his bluff, and I would have did the same thing. I don't do tit for tat, but do not play in my face, bruh. Don't play in my face and try to call my bluff. I mean, don't play in my face and try to make it seem like you are one way when I just saw you this whole time with a girl. You was with her the whole time. You not about to make me feel like that was nothing. Okay? You not about to make me feel like that. But I'm glad that she did leave with Danny because soon as he said that, he started that fake crying, frowning his face up. He ain't cry. He just frowning his face up and acting like a baby because she chose to leave with somebody else. He deserved it. Sitting there acting like he was wronged. Boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, you literally was in there hunching. Loudly, too. You couldn't cover that girl mouth or something. Cover your mouth. Nigga was loud. Loud and proud. And also, the fact that Brion decided to have that threesome in the bathroom versus going in the tent was just a testament to how sadistic that man is. He said, if I'm going to do something wrong, I ain't going to hide it. That's because you don't love your girl. And I don't think that men hide things when they love their girl, but they at least care enough not to want you to see them do the wrong thing. But you don't like that girl. You actually hate Shantae. Brion hates Shantae because she does everything that he wants her to do. A lot of times men will be saying, I want a submissive woman. I want a woman to do this. I want her to do that. And you get a submissive woman and you hate her. Because she does everything you want her to do. She can do everything you want her to do and you hate her. Thought you wanted a submissive woman. He do not love that girl. He don't love her at all. The bonfire between Lino and what's that girl name? Like, I gotta find her name because it's crazy. Let me see. Alexa. So the bonfire between Lino and Alexa was anticlimactic. It was anticlimactic to me. I didn't care. I'm not gonna lie. I expected them to get back together. I expected her to take him back. Didn't nobody want him. She didn't see him really with girls. She only saw him complaining about what he did to her. I was glad that she told him, I'm gonna take you back, but you not finna sit here and keep blaming me for something that I did in the past, something that you claim that you forgave me for. I was proud of her for saying that, but I'm sorry, I just wouldn't get back with him. Like, he ain't gonna get over it, never. He claimed that he learned to not hold her accountable and to get over what happened. I don't believe him. You broke his ego because, like he said, he was not used to being second choice. He was used to always being first choice. And he felt like second choice to you. He ain't never getting over it. He gives me, yeah, the girl that I like in first grade broke my heart, so now I'm a bad boy. He give me that. He ain't getting over it. But if she happy, I guess. Anyways, I wanted to finish the show and I just felt like, let me do a recap. I wasn't gonna do like the episode by episode, of it. But I hope that y'all like this video. I hope it's not too freaking long, but at the same time, it's cool if it is. I just wanted to talk about it, especially Brion and the way that his mentality. I wanted to talk about him and his mentality because it's very dangerous to date people like that try to pull you into their reality, and they separate their reality from reality. They pull you into it when they want to, and when they want to distance themselves from something that they did in the real world, they try to they try to justify it by, like how he did, by saying I separate what happens in here from what happens in the real world. Nigga, you in the real world. Everywhere you go, you're in the real world. What are you talking about? It's a sickness. It's a sickness. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about Temptation Island. I know I'm late, but let me know what y'all think about Temptation Island and just how I broke everything down and the things that I talked about and touched on. Let me know what y'all think about it. Do y'all feel like Brion was a narcissist? Also, do y'all feel like them producers was helping him manipulate that girl? Because that joint was pissing me off. I was like, why do they keep showing this much of what he's doing? Why are they doing this? It was getting on my nerves. But let me know what y'all think about Temptation, this season of Temptation Island. Temptation Island has always been off the chain. I've been watching. I actually included it in my dating reality TV shows. I bet y'all forgot, because I watched it when it first came on and I was keeping up with it or whatever. But it's cool that they got it on Netflix now for more people to see it. But it been off the chain, y'all. Like, this was a lot, but it been like this. It been off the chain. And not just on the men's side too. The women be wilding on Temptation Island too. It's just that most of the time, women are going to focus on emotional, and you have to kind of get through that aspect to get through. And a lot of times it's hard to do that, because if I come into a space with this thing on my mind, it's going to be hard for me to deviate from that. Like, if I went into the Temptation Island to fix my relationship, that's what I'm gonna be focused on. I'm not really focused on making new connections with other people. Like, we can talk, but that's about it. But let me know what y'all think about this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgrahamwrites and scroll all the way down to the bottom to fill out the subscription form to get updates, news, and book releases. Thank you.